What's up, everybody? I'm Tommy the Cat, and this is this is LTRE at night. What's up, Danny, Sister AK, Quentin, all the members in the house? I like it. ACR. We got King Shadow in here. People beat King Shadow. That's crazy. Shy Boy, Eric, what's up? What is up, guys? It's late night. I was going to do this earlier, but I couldn't. So now we're here doing this all the way live at night. All the way live. Thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for showing off the member emojis. Carlos is in the house too. Thanks for being here. Let me do this here. This will probably be easier. After hours, says Tyler. Yeah, after hours. Don't know where you're coming from or whatever time zone. But we're here to answer some questions, to just kind of shoot the shit about Resident Evil and what's going on for a little bit. So that's what this is. So I played some Mercenaries last night. It was a lot of fun. And now we're here on a Friday night where people are out and about and probably not watching YouTube, but, you know, there's always people wanting to watch some stuff. So I figured, you know what the hell? It's against all algorithm ways, but I know a lot of people that stream this time and get a bunch of views. So it's all possible. There's always someone waiting for something to come on. George, what's up? Good to see you in here. It's good to be here. Yeah, what is up? What's going on? You know, what's going on with in the world of Resident Evil? Well, there's not much going on in the world of Resident Evil right now. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. It's little things here and there, but we've still have been kind of quiet on an announcement or anything from Capcom. And a lot of people aren't very they're not really putting their faith into Tokyo Game Show being a, big show as far as new announcements, which that's fair because they sometimes don't really announce anything at all. However, a Capcom Resident Evil event is something that could always happen sometime in the fall if they choose to, or sometime at the last quarter of this year. And they usually just kind of announce them. They don't really give much notice. They sometimes give a week's notice, like the last one, or even with some of the PlayStation events. So there's basically just going to be a waiting game going on. The King is in the house. Thanks for being here, and thank you for being on the Game Complainers as well, King. Appreciate that. Eric says, not sure if creating some original character ideas within RE counts, but it's what I'm doing. Creating original character ideas. Well, I think there's, a lot of things that they still have to do with our original characters, and there's still a lot of things that they could easily incorporate, with other characters that they could still bring in that are new, but just not write them in the way that they've done it so far. But that's just kind of my take on that. But Jeff M and other members in the house, welcome. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate that. If you're a member or a Patreon supporter, you will be able to vote on the next poll. It's going to be going up this weekend, and it's basically going to be the next survival horror game that I play. So everyone voted on Silent Hill 2, which was the last one that won. So this next one will be coming up. And I have something for the live stream next week. I have something coming up, and it's a new game. And it's something I'm going to be streaming anyway, because it's something that maybe people want me to play. I don't know. You're going to have to wait and see what that is next week. Kular, what's going on? Because, I'm just looking for some stuff to play. That's survival horror, of course, with this, Resident Evil lull that we're in, kind of waiting. Oh, what's going on, Matt? You just saw Sista on Row. Well, hopefully I'm not clashing with Row as far as this live stream. But I'm not sure if they're still on or not. I didn't even know they were live. But Liquor Sandwich, what's going on? Another member in the house. And yeah, I've been kind of getting things kind of situated with kind of working out the the next kind of batch of live streams and videos I want to put out this month. And going back to Silent Hill, I hope the new movie and game are going to be good. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to probably be here day one, covering it or streaming it, Now that Alone in the Dark is pushed into January and we have Alan Wake 2 coming out in October, I'll probably check out Alan Wake 2. That'd be something really cool to stream. I won't be able to stream it day one because I will be in Michigan filming Keeper's Diary, so I won't be able to tackle that like I planned, but that was because that was before, I knew I was going to be involved in this project, and obviously we got funded and everything like that. So that's been going on as well. That is now, that finished. That campaign finished on Friday. So about a week ago now, it's been done. And like I mentioned, it's going to be the next big thing, project in the fall. Late October is when we're shooting it. But I will still cover Alan Wake 2. I will still play it, but it'll probably be within the first week of the, probably November, because Halloween's on a Tuesday. So yeah, I think the month changes over on a Wednesday. So probably that week. I never played Alan Wake 1 on the channel, but that's something that I might try to fix between now and October, the end of October. Might try to play it. I was talking to, a shout out to Jeff Grun. I saw him at the drive-in, and we talked about that as well, and he mentioned it's not too long of a game, so I might do that. And Quentin says, let's smash that like button for LTRE. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks for coming in here. We're just kind of shooting the shit, so if you have any questions or stuff you want to bring up in the chat, we can talk about it and just, keep the discussion going. I don't really got much on the docket for this stream. I'm just kind of shooting the shit. Like I said, there's not really what is up with RE. I mean, there's not really much going on right now with RE, but us kind of waiting for an official, announcement from Capcom saying, hey, this stuff's going on. There's some kind of, and I know that there's, the DLC kind of hints that are being, talked about in terms of achievements being updated, stuff on Steam being updated, stuff like that. So, we know they're doing something. I mean, we're not, us RE fans aren't that naive. We know that there's something kind of waiting around. But once we see some kind of, trailer, some kind of glimpse of something that will give us something to talk about. So it's cool to figure something out in the meantime. And like I said, that's where these other playthroughs kind of come in with these other survival horror games that I'm trying to kind of work my way around that I've never played. Jeff M just mentioned the Alan Wake remaster. Just finished it last week. Makes enough improvements over the OG. Definitely worth it. Yeah, that's probably the one I will play, man. And I've seen the game in the past, a playthrough back in the day, but I don't really, I don't think I finished it, and I don't think I remember much of it. So I'd like to, play, make it a blind run, be my first time playing. So, yeah, so we know there's some kind of RE, 4 DLC that will be released eventually, and that will hopefully hold us over until we get another Resident Evil announcement. As far as, Resident Evil 4 Remake DLC, and a lot of people were asking me, like what exactly would I want to see with the DLC, and kind of going back and like thinking about like how it was back in 2005, it's so funny because I was reading a couple articles like that were talking about how like like some articles were getting it wrong. Like they were saying like, oh, it was included in Nintendo GameCube back in the day, which it wasn't. It was released without it, and PS2 onward was when it was put out with Resident Evil 4. But I just remember like that summer, just playing Resident Evil 4 over and over and over again, and not even knowing that this other edition was coming out until I remember like seeing it in a magazine saying that it was coming out for PS2 and it was going to have this additional story. And my dad was the one to order it for himself because he didn't play on GameCube and he wanted to check out Resident Evil 4. He never really got into it, just because I think the style kind of threw him off a little bit, and it was a change because he was used to the fixed camera angles. So I eventually played the PS2 version, obviously, more and more to unlock that mode. And it was just such a cool experience. Separate Ways is a really cool part of the story. I really like Ada Wong in Resident Evil 4. I like how she's written. I like her, perspective of things. And with the remake, what I would like them to do is to keep that fulfilling kind of factor that 4 hours give or take kind of gives us, because that's a good it's a good length. And with kind of adding the couple characters in for Mercenaries being Ada and Wesker, and maybe another map, maybe the Waterworld map, maybe another map, that'd be really cool. So, but I think with Ada, we can kind of have those moments where I would like to see Ada and Luis do a thing where they team up in a segment. I would like them to incorporate the U3 cage fight, as people call it. And that's something that I really hope that, we do see. I know a lot of people were a little, pissed off that wasn't included in the game, but I don't think that they're not going to include it. I think that they will. And, I would really like to see that Ada story kind of in that same kind of way that it was told, where she is kind of behind the scenes and these things are going on, but also to make it a little bit more unique, give her items that are only for her. And, like we had the shotgun that was only in, her campaign, little things like that are pretty cool. I know that it's a very, short amount of time, and I know that the upgrades and the weapons were limited in the original Separate Ways, but have a very unique couple of abilities that we can see Ada use. And she obviously will have her own melees, have the grappling hook, maybe, I don't even know. We didn't really see a Batman grappling hook, I don't think, in full use, but maybe we can actually see her, do the neck snap with the grappling hook. Imagine if they did that. That would be fucking cool. But I don't know. I think we can, we could see how they kind of have her help Leon, but also like, she's still kind of in her own lane in Separate Ways. And I like the fact that we saw that like inner kind of dialogue, when she was kind of talking about how she felt about Luis and how she felt about this mission and what her goals were, what she realizes Wesker was after. Like we're going to see a lot more of that interaction between her and Wesker through those radio calls, or we might not. But that's something where when it comes to how it kind of wraps into the story, hopefully they do that very similar to how it was before. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to see what they could do with the DLC. And that's kind of what I would like to see, is just make it as similar. They don't have to keep it beat for beat, but like, for example, the Krauser fight, kind of half-assed, it kind of just happens and you just go from like point A to point B on the rooftop, and then it's kind of over and there's not really a dialogue. Do we really need that? Not really. You could probably put that in with a Luis and Ada segment, or maybe another boss fight like a U3 like we mentioned. But yeah, that's just kind of my like what I would like to see with this DLC. And obviously with Mercenaries, yes, I would like to see Ada, Wesker, add another map in there. Just playing Mercenaries the other day, or yesterday I should say, and obviously when it came out, it was a lot of fun, and it really blew the Village Mercenaries out of the water, as far as how fun it was, how they used the mayhem mode and stuff like that for each character. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that I think fans will be able to kind of be held over until we get something else. I don't think it'll be free though. I obviously think there will be a price. I know the Prince is asking in the chat. Yeah, they're gonna put it behind some kind of paywall, but if they price it at $25, something like that, similar to the Gold Edition, that's not too bad for what they would give us. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's still a lot that RE4 Remake has to offer as far as just the base game too. That is also keeping a lot of people held over. In the meantime, it's been selling like crazy. People have been finally getting their hands on it to play it. Who have kind of waited to play it, or maybe they didn't get a chance to play it. So it's not a bad thing that we're waiting a certain amount of time after the game, because they obviously want people to get their hands on it and then just boom, they get the upgrade. Or if they, get the Gold Edition or the Complete Edition that will probably follow when this gets released, they'll get the whole package deal for that, whatever price they're asking for. So it's kind of like back in the day, getting it on the PS2 or getting it on the Wii or getting it on those other consoles. It's like you got everything if you waited a little bit, But yeah, so holy shit, man. Perry, hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, this he's had no power the whole day. He was at the shop. That's crazy, man. Yeah, we're getting some of that rain or some of that thunder in a couple hours here, so I'll be out of here off the stream before then. But yeah, man, hopefully you're all right over there. I know like that's not it's not good to not have power in the heat. And it's still fucking hot, even though people are like, oh, fall's coming in. No, it's still hot over here on the East Coast. And, yeah, no, that's not good, man. Hopefully you can stay at the shop, stay safe there, and, do what you got to do until that thing comes back on, man. I'm going to catch up in the chat in a second. I know you guys are putting in the questions. I just kind of wanted to give my little discussion on that. No power since 7:30 last night. Oh, man. And I'm sure, like you mentioned in the stream, you didn't sleep. And I don't blame you, because I can't sleep in the heat either. I got to have like a cold room when I sleep too, and that's just like when you got to deal with that. That's like that's no good, man. So hopefully you get that on sooner than later. At least your shop stays nice and cool. At least you have that as a backup. It just it's inconvenient. Yeah, you want to go home and like you want to be home. Like you don't want to be constantly there. Especially in this weather. It's really bad. It's really crappy. It'll start dropping probably in like a couple weeks. The weather hopefully. But all right, let me see where I was. So yeah, we'll keep talking about some RE stuff. I'm happy you guys are filling in some comments here. Let's start with Liquor Sandwich. Because he was saying about. Oh no, it was Quentin. That's what he said. He said, "What's my favorite character to play on Texas Chainsaw?" So for the victims, I would say Connie or Leland. And for the family, I would say Leatherface and the Hitchhiker, and then Sissy. Even though Sissy doesn't shut the fuck up, she doesn't stop singing over and over again. But I do like her character, so yeah, I'm still trying to. Again, I'm probably gonna start live streaming that a little bit. Not on this channel, but on whatever the fuck my third channel is going to be. Like, I might just you might just see it come out of nowhere. I'm just streaming it. I don't know. Cause like, I just got to start with something. Right. And I feel like that's a fun game that I've been slowly but surely getting more into, and it's been actually fun. So, I like to have, again, like Perry on and a couple of my friends, obviously, to come on. Cause that'd be cool. Let me see here. You guys are coming in hot with the chat, so let's see here. Got a feeling RE5 will be coming. After then, we get RE9. I think RE5 Remake is coming, but I think they might do RE9 first before they do RE5, but we'll see what happens. Jeff M says Capcom's going to be at TGS. I'm really hoping we get separate ways. That'd be cool, man. I mean, I will be streaming Tokyo Game Show. It is on September 21st. And I do have, I don't have the time in front of me, but I put it in the video. Yeah, so that's going to be happening. And, we'll see. I'll stream it no matter what. I know they're going to be showing the PSVR version of RE4. So I know they're going to be showing that. And that might be all they show. But, we're going to stream it anyway. Fuck it, right? We might as well just see what happens. Quentin says it'd be amazing if they announced an OG trilogy for current gen, separate ways, and more DLC, as well as mercenaries, characters, and maps. Yeah, man. That's why I think if we're going to get all that announced, or if they decide to wait, it should just be, at a Resident Evil or a Capcom event. Because like what they did at those Capcom events where they have just a whole segment just for RE and they just, go, through the announcements, that's what you want. Because for Tokyo Game Show, I feel like they'll try to stagger out their announcements a little bit, or that it might just be more of what we already know, as far as, the PSVR 2 version's coming soon, and then they don't have a date. Thank you, Nick Noguera, for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. First donation of the night. Thank you for being a member, Nick Noguera. Appreciate the support always, man. Thanks for coming in. If you said something else in the chat, I'm just trying to get through these chats here, so bear with me. Eric says, there is a character not used in the original RE game called Gelzer. He was some kind of cyborg or monster character and a S.T.A.R.S member. You think someone like that could be revisited? Well, that's the thing, too. I feel like if they ever did more origin stories like that, it depends on who's bringing in what characters, but a lot of those characters were scrapped, so it would take someone going back in and pulling that, into the current story. If they ever go back and do a Zero in a remake, or RE1 again, then that will be a time to explore more origin stuff, but they're going to keep it with the core people that people know, instead of bringing in older characters from that time that were never used to confuse people or throw people off, Jeff M says, I don't think Capcom will make any new RE announcements this year. I have a feeling they want RE4 to be the capstone for the rest of 2023. Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely going to try to finish it off, kind of finish the RE4 run, I think, before they make anything big. But Liquor Sandwich says he'll shit an entire brick if they announce an OG trilogy. Yeah, I mean, it could happen, man. You got the Metal Gear Solid thing coming out around the corner. That's going to sell like hotcakes, so I feel like a lot of people will open their eyes and be like, oh, we can print money. I think it will happen, because I think people deserve a chance to play them all. Just turn on a console and play them wherever they want. Liquor Sandwich says, I'm not a big fan of OG Separate Ways, but I think it really sucks besides all the lore stuff. Chapter 4 Separate Ways gave me PTSD. It is a little bit of a challenge, But who knows? Maybe this time around they might get you. They might actually make it appealing for you. But we'll see. I answered that, Prince. I know it'll be it definitely will be you have to pay for the DLC. I'm replaying RE4 Remake on hardcore with no special weapons or anything since it's been a few months, and it's great getting back into the game. Yeah, Quentin, that was a fun stream when I did that, playing, the harder mode with just like starting from scratch. That was a real fun kind of that's something I'll probably do again. I'll probably live stream it. It's been a while since I've brought RE4 just like a playthrough on the channel, and I don't know if that's what people really wanted by the end of like how many times I was streaming RE4 when it came out. But I thought I kind of did everything I needed to do with RE4, and then I kind of gave it a break for a little bit because it was just constant RE4 for almost a year on reporting on it and obviously playing it when it came out. It was fun, but I wanted to give it a little bit of a breather on the channel personally, but I was still playing it kind of off the camera, and I had a lot of playthroughs where it was just me playing it in front of my TV and stuff like that, so that was really cool. But yeah, I'll definitely try to bring RE4 back on the channel, RE4 Remake, and just play it more, do some cool little things that make some of the playthroughs unique, or maybe some stipulations or something like that. It was nice to set it down for a little bit because I was playing it a lot. Let's see here. I like to see the Separate Ways, more of a spy thriller aspect of Ada, like the Bond or MGS mission style over the original. Yeah, I mean, Ada definitely has the more spy, the spy vibes for Ari, and even like her theme song is very like a spy movie kind of action, kind of has that kind of twist to it. So that'd be kind of cool to see her more doing more stealth shit. That'd be actually kind of cool. But and now with RE4 being that you can do segments stealthy, it kind of works. I'm not a fan of them cutting out major unlockable content and giving it to us as DLC. Well, back in the day, you guys got to remember, they made you pay again for Separate Ways. I mean, they made you pay for that second copy. So you basically had to buy a second copy on a separate console just so you can play It wasn't even DLC back then, just the extra content, and you had to beat the game to play it. So not only did you have to rebuy the game back then, you have to replay it. So honestly, the model hasn't really changed. Instead of buying the copy again, you're just paying for that extra sliver of content and adding it to your copy. You don't got to run out and buy. So if anything, it was more of a ripoff back then because you had to plop down another $49.99 or $55 probably after tax to just get that game again. So it really hasn't changed much if you really think about it. Still hot as fuck on the West Coast as well, says Quentin. Yeah, it's hot out there. Matt says praying your power comes back on ASAP. Perry, that's what Matt says. We had some bad flooding here in Vegas last week. Damn, Liquor. Hopefully it wasn't too bad for you. Need to get the king a beer and a generator. And I'm streaming any of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I will be very soon. Maureen will play the game with you. She plays Texas Chainsaw all day. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I love to just do that. Just stream it. I could stream it obviously whenever I feel like it, and then I can have people on. That'd be really cool. That's gonna be what the third channel is, guys. It's just gonna be me playing horror games, action games, Spyro, Crash Team Racing, Turtles in Time. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying. I just want to have that outlet to play whatever the fuck I want, and I think I should just start with something that I love. And Texas Chainsaw is kind of current right now with the game. The biggest thing, the biggest kick in the nuts is the whole like crossplay being removed with the recent update that we talked about on the show on Game Complainers. That's probably the worst thing that they did to that game recently. But I still like it. It's still a good game, but it's just like now I can't play with Perry unless he wants to install it on his Series X, which he can. But he bought it on Steam for a reason. People bought it on Steam. My friends bought it on Steam for a reason. And yeah, so that's another annoying thing. Oh, no problem, Jeff M. Yeah, I answered some questions already with that Texas Chainsaw question. Yeah, no, it's all good. I just figured like, man, I might as well just stream this, like make content from this. If I played so much, I might as well like make content out of it, learning the game, getting pissed at the game. Like those are reactions that people like to see nowadays. So, that's just shit we got to start doing. Brother, I don't think anyone will get tired of RE4 remake streams. That's true. That is true. I guess for me, I wanted to give it a break for myself just because I wanted to also still play other RE stuff. But at the time, I probably could have pushed a little bit more on RE4. But I think by the time I played it, beat it 7 or 8 times or 9 times, played it on the PS5, played it on the Series X, even played it on the PS4 at Perry's shop just for the giggles. But yeah, before we did that review, when Perry and Frank came on and really helped out with that, we played RE4 to death. So I think after that, it was a nice little all right, let's put this down for a little bit, and I'll come back to it. And here we are. I popped in Mercenaries the other night, and it was a lot of fun to just play through that and kind of beat some high scores, actually beat out some high scores that I had set, when it came out. Nick says, I think RE9 gets announced at the end of the year, comes out next year, then we get RE5, then Code Veronica. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the cycle's always been mainline remake recently, so I think Code Veronica will happen no matter what down the road. I'm sure they've heard the dozens and dozens and thousands and however many millions of people that, replied to that survey that asked, what do you guys want to see for the next remake that is, or a remake, not so much the next remake because we kind of know where they're going next. So yeah, that will happen. And I think RE9 will be RE9's already been in development. As we know, Capcom likes to keep everything ready to go, and they have different teams working on stuff, so they keep it going, they keep it moving. And I don't know if we'll get RE9 announced before the end of the year. If anything, I think we may get RE4, but stranger things have happened. They could just say, hey, here's a Capcom event. If they come out of nowhere and say Capcom event, in October, November, or December, you could get any announcement in that event because then it's just specific to their properties and their IPs. Pragmata is another one that got obviously delayed even further, but maybe they can have an event that shows some RE stuff. We don't know. So we'll keep it going. Let's see. I bought RE4 on PS2 4 separate ways. I never opened it, and it's still sealed in my basement, says Perry. OG RE2 didn't have the extreme battle mode until the DualShock. You're right, Liquor Sandwich. That was another one. You invite me, I will stream all those games with you, says Perry. Sweet, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be what it is. I mean, it's going to be a channel for stuff I can play on my own, stuff I can play with you guys, different single-player games that that I always wanted to play, Siphon Filter, Metal Gear Solid, like just a bunch of my favorites that I'll be able to finally play and talk to everybody about, in just a different space, and it doesn't affect anything that's going on here, And Perry said he's ready. He's got it installed. But yeah, really enjoy Texas Chainsaw. Definitely give it another go, Jeff. It does take some getting used to. And then honestly, it does get frustrating. Like that game, there is some aspects of it where I'm just like, why isn't this better? But it launched a lot better than Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th was a good game. I'm not shitting on that game, but the way it launched was a lot more messy, and there was a lot more like updates and fixes they needed. And at least this, runs a lot better. It looks a lot better. It's not like the best looking game I've ever seen, but it runs really smooth on the Series X, and it's on Game Pass. So like it's a lot more. The getting rid of the crossplay is a little rough because the PC crossplay, because I've noticed that it's a little bit longer to queue up for games, because now it's just Xbox Series to PS5. It's not Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS5, PS4. It's literally just Xbox Series to PS5 crossplay. PS4 to PS4 has their servers, and the Xbox One can only play with Xbox One players. It's the weirdest fucking thing. You would think they would have just opened it up for everybody, but like we mentioned, I don't know. Carlos can't wait for Separate Ways. He's ready. RWK says, bruh. Eric says, you think Capcom is hesitant to take the risk after Village? There's a lot to explore in the world of RE. It doesn't have to be a game. Well, I think Village should show them, and I know like it sold well and it did really well, but hopefully they make that Rose DLC just kind of like, put that book on the shelf, put it on the shelf, and just move on, like close that chapter of the Winter story and kind of just move on, and know that you don't have to get super wacky and crazy with it, Kendo Gun Shop in the house. What's up, man? Swear to God, if RE9 is another first-person Ethan simulator, I'm going to cry. Well, I think if anything, we'll have the option from the beginning, or it might just be third-person, We'll see. Yokimi says, I think Code Veronica really needs a remake. I can understand a lot of people want co-op so bad, but I don't know how it would make sense to go from 5 to Code Veronica chronologically. Well, I think, RWK, Code Veronica drops tonight. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's amazing. Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? So a lot of people, this will be probably like a little clip that I highlight here that I put out, but a lot of people will probably talk about this online. What do people want to see next? RE5 remake or Code Veronica, right? And I know a lot of people are just going to say Code Veronica because that's like the older game. It's not as, like current as RE5. Like to see it remade from fixed camera angles to over the shoulder, third person to like, kind of trimming up the fat a little bit, making it a little bit more streamlined. That's what a lot of people want to see. And obviously not see things cut. They want to see it complete. And I get that. But I think RE5 coming out first. Thank you, Nick, for gifting a membership. Eric is now a member, courtesy of Nick Noguera. Thank you so much, man. Watch them remake Code Veronica X and have it be a sequel to 5. Well, again, I think them going back and then going forward, like that's not a problem for them because people will still know kind of where it takes place in the story. RE4 leaves it right open to RE5. So that's why I think RE5 being next is a no-brainer in my eyes. I know some people could say, well, they could go back before they do 5. How will people know this, and that? People know Resident Evil, whether it's from the CGI films, the games, like the novels. Like there's different ways people know about Resident Evil. But Resident Evil 5 Remake is definitely happening next because I think they're really trying to set up Wesker. I think Separate Ways will set up Wesker even more, and not just in a video call at the end. I think we'll actually see him a lot more. And and even like what Perry just said, a remake of one again, so people actually know who Chris is before Code Veronica. That's a good point. I mean, if you're just getting into the remakes, you definitely may or may not know of Chris depending on where you come in, right? And we haven't really seen I know RE1 remake. For me, RE1 remake is a perfect remake. It's still my favorite Resident Evil remake. However, seeing it remade again would be able to tell that story. And you know what you could do? You could, and we always just talk about this on the channel, you could make it to where RE1 finally has everybody escape on the helicopter. Not just, like Barry never escapes from Chris's campaign. Rebecca is nowhere to be seen and escapes in Jill's campaign. Or, I say campaign, I should just say scenario or story, right? But you get what I'm saying. Like, we don't really have that, you know what I mean? But I know you're joking, Perry, but you get what I'm saying, though. Remaking RE1 before Code Veronica, that's not a bad idea, you know what I mean? I think people know who Chris is no matter what, but at the same time, a lot of people want to see RE1 in that style nowadays. I think seeing it everything kind of match up, and then you say, okay, we did 5, we did 1, what else is next? They can get to Code Veronica, and then they can kind of fill in the early Raccoon City, post Raccoon City kind of time in 1998. That little snippet of 1998, you can have everything all streamlined, and it all explains it. But to be fair, if you're going into the remakes, you should kind of, you have an idea of what happened with Raccoon City, but we don't really have like a complete picture without, them redoing RE1 remake and making it connect with 2 and 3 and everything like that. Again, remake 2002 kind of just still stands as, something people could still play today, but some people don't play the fixed camera angle stuff. Some people just play the over the shoulder stuff. So I get it. I get that's why people also want to see Code Veronica remade, but RE5, I think, will definitely happen first. I don't necessarily even think Resident Evil 5 will be co-op. It could easily be just, single player, or have, another person with you, being Sheva, or just being, not someone that just wastes ammo and health, but she kind of has her own, just kind of like ammo that's disposable, and she doesn't really she might have a dying meter, but it's not like RE5 where you have to constantly worry about Sheva's health, because I don't know if they're going to bring in that co-op again and turn Resident Evil into that. They might try to just keep it how it was, or keep it how it is, I should say. RE engine for remake, the Resident Evil 1 remake, yeah, like I would love to see that again, and I can say that even being, a complete RE remake stan, like someone who's completely like in love with that remake, and I think it's the perfect remake. I think like my favorite style of Resident Evil is fixed camera angles, but I would still like to see, like Perry mentioned before, 30-year anniversary maybe. I don't know, maybe we could see something then. I don't know. Bring it around, show people the complete origin of Resident Evil, and then you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, and then they can sprinkle in Code Veronica to be like, here you go. Here's the last little snippet of that 1998 events of Resident Evil, and we've seen 4 at that point. We've seen 5. They don't really have to go, I don't know where they, directly to 6 afterwards. I don't think so, but, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's where they go. I mean, they sell so well right now, the remakes and the main lines. They can keep bouncing back. Obviously, they'll hit a wall eventually in terms of like, all right, what next? Like, what do we do next? But there's still a lot of ideas and stuff that they can do. And I think, but, I understand. So there's going to be people in the chat too that are going to be like, you don't have to remake it. You can remake it. That's what the discussions are for, That's why it brings up good discussion points and stuff like that. Let's see. George is in here. So the crossplay for Texas Chainsaw is temporarily off. You can't play with PC players. That is correct, George. That's unfortunately what the last patch did, because they're trying to prevent cheaters from cheating the game, even though there's anti-cheat and they did tech tests, like Perry said, but they still have this problem. So hopefully this temporary thing is like out very soon, because it's kind of bullshit. If people want to play on their PC, they should be able to. But polls are definitely favoring 5. I think a lot of people would like to see 5. People didn't know who Jill was, and they still made RE3 remake. Well, I feel like, most hardcore diehards should know who Jill is, but again, RE3 remake, and same thing with RE2. It's to reintroduce that story to new players, whether it's people who knew who Jill was, Claire and Leon, like they're household names for any RE fan, but being able to play these games in a new way where people are able to kind of get into them, there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And people didn't know what Resident Evil was when 2 came out. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like 2 brought that thing to the next level. It's like that sequel was everything that it needed to be. RE Engine for P-Hub. Oh, Jesus. Nick says it would make sense either way for RE5 or Code Veronica or another RE1. I think evident it's all going to happen eventually. Exactly. Like Perry just said, they're going to remake all this shit in 50 years and we're all dead. Who cares if it's redundant? Well, that's the thing. It goes on forever. This a franchise has been going on for 27 years. They're going to keep making money. They're going to keep making remakes, reboots. It never ends when it's their highest selling IP, Resident Evil characters are likable. From Leon to Chris to Jill, Claire, Ada, Luis, I like them all. Yeah, same here, man. That's why I'm happy. Perry says just enjoy the games. Exactly. Enjoy them as they come. Because, just be grateful that we're in this time right now. Because Perry was on the show back in the day, and he remembers when Resident Evil hit that dark period right after RE6, and Capcom was going through some trouble, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Now it's the polar opposite. There's positive stuff to talk about. There's new stuff coming out. So that's what's going to be cool about it, is that we're in this era where stuff is bouncing back and survival horror is coming back, and it's time to cover it. It's time to play it all. It's been a great year in terms of Callisto I played, Dead Space Remake I played, obviously all the new RE stuff with RE4. Silent Hill, we had a bunch of Silent Hill announcements this year. I played Silent Hill 1 and 2 on the channel. There's a lot of good stuff to play and to hold us over. So I will still go back and play 1996 and GameCube remake. Oh, yeah, man. Especially with the remakes, I still always like to go back and play the old stuff, too. I wish I could go. My man going to be busy tomorrow. Bummer. The Dudleys are wrestling tomorrow. That's awesome, man. That's going to be a great show. You guys are going to enjoy that Impact show. Nick gifting more memberships to RWK Evil. That's what we should call him, Perry. RWK. That's what you said, but that's what we should call him from now on. RWK Evil. Thank you so much, Nick, for that. Appreciate that. And I hate that you don't use clickbait titles and thumbnails. I know, it's awful. It's terrible. I would do so much better if I did that. Yeah, hopefully everyone, put the good wishes in for Perry, get his power back on, man. I know it's like a matter, it's just all the electric company bullshit, but yeah, man, that sucks. RWK likes he played Naked Robber. Oh, Jesus. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is Gene? Who is that? Oh, the Clerks cartoon? That's funny. It's actually, speaking of Clerks, Mahoning Drive-In, the drive-in I always go to, they're doing a Kevin Smith weekend. They're showing, Clerks 2 and, the original Clerks and stuff like that. Really funny. How will 2023 Halloween experience be? Hope films are good. Are you talking about films coming out this year? Hopefully. It might not be on until after I get back from Impact. Jeez. Oh, he created Star Trek. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I look at the name. I'm like, I don't recognize that at all. Yeah, I'm really stoked for, just the fall season. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming out game-wise as well, I need to talk to big guy upstairs, get Paris power back on, says the king. Oh, man, RWK is coming at Perry. RWK's pissed. But yeah, guys, keep any questions you have, just keep them coming in the chat. We're just hanging out. So anything you guys got, throw it my way. Mallrats, hell yeah. I think they're showing. They might be showing something else. But yeah, it'll be a really cool fall time as far as like movies coming out. Um, I'll check out The Exorcist. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. It's like it's not gonna be as good as the first one, as you know, because it's like one of the best horror movies of all time, right next to Texas Chainsaw. We're talking about Texas Chainsaw the game, but it's like, man. I will just stay at Anthony's house and destroy his collection on his wall. Exactly. Perry will just tear it all down. Dr. Evil says, "What's up? And if you got the nod to make Halloween movie, what would you do with it? Remake, sequel to one of the previous movies? How would you bring Michael back?" Oh man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I feel like for like if I had the chance to do it again, I would probably just I would try to maybe just have it to where I don't know how I would bring him back, but I would probably just make it to where maybe the first two movies or maybe the first movie happened, or the first two movies happen, and then it would probably just be I don't know. I don't know if I would make it pick up from any other film, but I always thought it'd be interesting to make a sequel that's after Resurrection. And I know they wanted to do that, but I just think that would be so funny because it's just so like you could just make a sequel and it doesn't have anything to do with the previous stuff, but we could just make it to where Michael is just back already. And, I don't know what I would do though. That's a really good question. It's hard. I did a Halloween fan film, The Shape Kills. I did do that. But that takes place in between the Halloween Kills and Ends, or Halloween Kills and Ends films. But so I kind of inserted a fan film in between there. But I also don't. I don't know. It would be like it would have to be something that is a little bit more easier to bring him back. That's why if the first movie happened, he doesn't get completely burned in the second movie. So I understand why they kind of axed the second movie, even though I love the second movie. I love 1 and 2 together. But Perry can pet my cats. Yes, he can, finally. My only concern with the remakes is it has to be scary. 5 never made me scream. Code Veronica has some stomach-churning horror that needs more appreciation. I could make a list. Make Ari scary. Yeah, I mean, I think they did a really good job making Ari 4 a lot darker and a little gruesome, with how they portrayed the graphics in the Ari engine. So I think they're doing a good job with what they're doing. Oh my god. Damn, Perry. I can't say that. Halloween retires the night he stood home. That's a good one. Exorcist looks all right. It's the only movie I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's not much. I get free movie tickets each month for Cinemark because I sign up for their thing. So I'll probably use that for me and Callie to go see it. And I'll probably review it on my film channel, I want to do some reviews this fall, so I'm going to try to do that. Holy shit, Perry. Holy fuck. You should also play with Anthony's collectible figures. The nun looks like RWK's at Jesus. Yeah, the Conjuring universe is very tiresome at this point. And I didn't even like the first Nun movie. I'd probably do a sequel to 4 that brings Danielle Harris back and ignores the movies that followed. Jump in the future and have her as an insane asylum, and Michael comes after her. That'd be interesting, kind of like what they did with Resurrection, but with Danielle Harris. I was thinking about that, like making a sequel to 5 that doesn't kill off, Jamie, like doesn't kill her off. But I know with 6 it was a little, different because you have the 2 different cuts. But maybe doing something that would be interesting, doing something after 5, but with Danielle Harris, because it would be someone that it would bring people in. People know who she is, or they should know who she is. But yeah, the OG Halloween 2 was pretty scary at times. The hospital setting was great. It is great. I just love that, like, it's a hospital setting, but no one is around. It's like the most like quiet hospital ever. But I know the movie had to be a movie, but I love that. Oh, Jesus. God damn it. Not Dr. Loomis, Perry. Spare the man. Did Michael come again? Jesus Christ. That's terrible. Anyway. When are we getting the shape kills again? Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's been almost out for a year. Shape kills. That was so much fun. I'm working on working on a new skit for the film channel. That will be a fun comedy skit. We used to do fake trailers inspired by the Grindhouse fake trailers from the Grindhouse film. So we used to do that on my film channel as like little skits, and we used to make up our own films, and that's what we're working on now. So it's been the first time on my film channel since I've done a comedy skit in a handful of years, which is kind of crazy because I've been trying to do like more serious stuff and like just test some different stuff out. So I want to try to get back into that a little bit, make some jokes, like have some fun. It's going to be a little bit lighthearted, it's like more like, not that we don't have to take it as seriously, but it's a little bit more easier to get done. At least, I would think, but sometimes projects still take a little bit. But yeah, the script's been done for that, and I want to start to work on that, this fall possibly. It's going to be busy because stuff's going on in October, but maybe sometime this month we can work something out and get everything ready. Dragon Ball says, Anthony, after just getting out of work, does it get any better? Well, thanks for coming here, man. I know it's late as fuck, and I never stream this late unless I'm, going long on a marathon or something like that. But yeah, thanks for being here on this LTRE at Night edition. Apparently I'm on the I'm in the Joe Bob Mahoning. So when I went to Mahoning a few years ago, Joe Bob did a thing called Joe Bob Jamboree, where he was there and he did a live thing and all that stuff. And I guess they finally showed it on Shudder tonight. And my friend just texted me. He was like, "Yo, I just saw you on the thing standing in line." I'm like, "What the hell? I'm on it." So yeah, apparently I'm on the. I was standing in line, probably to meet Joe Bob, probably, or to just, I don't know what it was. I got to see what it was. It was probably when he was, when the crew was kind of filming stuff around there. That's where I met James Rolfe, too. I met James Rolfe there because he was just there. He was just chilling, like just drinking a beer, just hanging out, and we were able to say what's up, get a picture and stuff like that. So that was cool. RWK, any Keepers news? Not really. Just the fact that the schedules are kind of getting figured out, and I'm kind of getting myself ready and prepped. I've been watching a video kind of over and over again to try to study these things. I have to kind of get ready for this camera that I'm going to be using, and Larry Rolfe. Yeah, so I just have to kind of get myself ready. And yeah, I met AVGN. I met him at Mahoning at the Joe Bob Jamboree, and I met him at a book signing. So that was cool. But Punisher is cool as fuck. Frank Castle, hell yeah. Bald Rolfe, you're not wrong, Perry. He has to let it go, like you say. But yeah, as far as not much updates, as far as yeah, that'd probably be my favorite Dragon Ball. Honestly, I love the Punisher. You think the family and Revelations in Halloween 2? Are you talking about I'm not sure what you're referencing, Eric. I'm not sure. What else if James Rolfe is bald? Oh man. Plagiar Rolfe. Oh man, you guys are coming in with the jokes. Assume they put RE characters to rest for RE games after 9. Who would you like to see that happen with RE? Oh man, that's a hard question actually. It's a good question, but it's a very hard question. I don't know. To stop for good, to never see again. That's hard. That's a hard one. Who the fuck's John Rolfe? Doug Walker, John Rolfe. Man, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to have a good answer for that. I don't know. Who could we retire? Or just, I mean, kill off, as you say, but... Assuming they put over Ari, or they put over Ari characters. Put over? Not kill off, right? Are you talking about, just passing the torch? I don't know. Elvis versus Chuck Norris. Oh, man. What a fucking mashup. I'm trying to think on, who would they put over, because a lot of the newer characters or characters that they always bring in are always, very short-lived. Having Michael and Laurie be related, to me, it shackles down Myers and makes him less scary. Well, I mean, yeah, I know the original idea was just to make it to where they weren't related, and I do think that does work. It does make it more, just scary, James is AVGN, not John. Oh, Doug's nostalgia critic. Okay. They could go with Annette, or they could create another... Put out. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where, the characters are just kind of getting older, and I know that they are, they are aware of that. So I would hope that they have some kind of, I don't know, a proper send-off. They're going to do it with some of those characters. I don't know. That's a really hard question. It's hard. Van Damme and MK1, it comes out in a week. It does. I like to check it out. I mean, I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat. It's not my favorite fighting game. Perry's just coming at RWK. I love this back and forth. But it'll be cool to play a new MK game. I mean, MK11, I was kind of, I don't know. I liked it, but I liked MK9 probably the best out of the recent kind of, comeback of MK. I get, well, not a comeback, not that it ever went away, but I don't know, in recent years, I played MK9. MK10 was good, but Manger says, LOL funny, you're live. I'm coming to the channel to watch RE4 hard mode stream. Oh, nice. Mango. Well, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm live. And thanks for being here. If this is your first time coming out on a live stream, or if I've seen you before, welcome back. And thanks for always coming back to watch some other streams. Yeah, they're always there. And it was a comeback, says Perry. Okay, yeah. So it was, yeah, because after, yeah, that's why it was like a reboot in a way. But because I think the one before that was the DC MK one, and that was kind of meh. MK9 fixed all the problems, says Perry. The game comes out in a week. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's kind of a game that kind of creeped up on everybody because it was announced, but it's really the only thing coming out this month besides Starfield that just came out. And then you have Spider-Man next month. You have Alan Wake 2 next month, and Alone in the Dark just got pushed to January. Morgan Lansdale's a pretty good villain. It was a pretty epic boss fight. Yeah, MK8 is MK versus DC, says Perry. Yeah, I just remember when MK9 came out, it really was, it was like everyone that I knew that didn't even really play Mortal Kombat like that really jumped on and got into it. And yeah, I played that a lot. I still got my copy right up there. It's a hard question because we want the name for Ari to continue, but if the story continued because the heart's in the way, in a unjustified way. Well, that's the thing, man. It's hard to, it's hard because it's yeah, you don't want it to continue in a way where it gets too off course. And I know that they kind of took it a little off course with those different characters, but we'll have to see, yeah, what RE9 brings back and how they intertwine those old characters with the current stuff that's going on with Resident Evil. Tekken 8 in January, yes, that one I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really much. I mean, now you have Tekken 8 and Alone in the Dark coming out in January. That's kind of cool, though, that Alone in the Dark's coming out in January, though. I mean, it sucks it's not coming out in October, but it would be a crowded month. And at least for me as a content creator, I'm like, all right, cool. I can stream it when it comes out, and I don't have to like jump between Alan Wake 2 and Alone in the Dark, because I really do want to play Alone in the Dark on the channel. I've never played an Alone in the Dark game on the channel. I've played Alone in the Dark, a couple of them in the past, but I've never played anything like that on the channel. So this being kind of like a comeback, I'm really excited. New 4K RE Steelbook hitting. I sent you the photo. Oh shit, is this breaking news right here? Is Perry breaking some RE shit? Let's see. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I wish the cover was different, but maybe it's just a placeholder. November 21st, Sony Steelbook, the RE Collection, 2002 to 2021. Perry just broke this here. Look at that. So, okay. November, okay. Hopefully the artwork's a little bit better than that. But I'd still probably get it because I'm a sucker for Steelbooks. If it's a decent price. I sent the photo like 8 hours ago. Yeah, I know. I've been caught. I haven't been on Facebook, so sorry about that. What team are you? Mortal Kombat or Tekken? I mean, I like both, but I probably played more Mortal Kombat, so I'd probably have to go with MK, but I do like Tekken. OG RE team is what is likable about the RE universe. Yeah, exactly. It keeps it I don't know, just like connected to what we used to know. You know what I mean? Can you play MK9 on Xbox? Yes, it's backwards compatible. That's what Perry said. The Mila movies. Yeah, it is the Mila movies. Sheesh, I thought it was going to be a DLC. But yeah, you guys are eager for the DLC, huh? It's coming eventually. Hold on one second. All right. Still doing it. Don't know why I keep getting a Netberg and an Alex mixed up. They just shit over the carpet again and they got up to clean it. No. Come on. Oh, man. MK9 was a great one. John's been good. He's getting ready to do something on his channel hopefully sooner than later. He has some ideas he was telling me about, so he'll be doing some hopefully some variety stuff sooner than later. MKX had Jason. Yeah, MKX was that was a good game. I did play that a lot too, actually, on the PS4 a little bit, but I didn't play that as much as 9. Yeah, I mean, I think Outbreak type game would be awesome as well. Dragon Ball, definitely, especially now with like the assets and everything they have that they made from those remakes. It's like it would just work now. because the original Outbreak was just released too soon at that time with just a lot of those limitations and it only being on PS2 with that adapter. It was just a lot that people never really got to experience. And then now with the mod, that you could play, it's cool that people can experience it again, Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of the last Tekken I played. Was it 6? Might have been Tekken 6. Both Jason and Leatherface at MKXL. Yeah, man. I'm so pissed they never got Freddy in that one. It's like, come on. You could have did Freddy versus Jason. Oh, dude, I love DOA. DOA is like, that's one of my favorite fighting games. DOA 4, DOA 2. DOA 5 is also one of my favorites. That was such a great game. But yeah, DOA 4, that was one of my first games I got on the 360, along with like Ridge Racer 6. DOA 4 was very fun. I just remember seeing the graphics. I was like, holy shit, it's so crazy, WWE presents Ball Busting on pay-per-view. Main event, RWK versus Perry for a free bucket of chicken. WWE had a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire. I am not kidding. Yeah, no, that he is not kidding. That is true. When Scorpion was standing behind Johnny, I believe that was Next Level of MKX. Yeah, that was good. They could still make it, Dragon Ball. It could happen, but, I think they should focus more on, like, that kind of co-op multiplayer instead of this versus stuff. We were talking about this on Game Complainers, but it really made sense because it's like, I just feel like with some of the versus stuff, they just can't get it down. And is a fan of the boobies and DOA. Well, that's what the Japanese like on the women. And unfortunately, we have $1,000 of DLC for DOA for bra and panties and bath time bunnies and all shit that they have for that game. So yes, they like their outfits. Let's just say that. The last Tekken I played was 5, but I still play 1 through 4. Yeah, I like 1 through 4. I remember playing Tekken 4. Man, I played that. I remember getting that on PS2, and that was so fun. And I just remember the graphics were just so fucking cool from upgrading from 3, because I played 3 like a motherfucker. I loved Tekken 3 growing up because I played the demo, and, that's it. It's called fan service. Oh, yeah, I know about the fan service, I know. Believe me. Bring back Freddy as Robert Englund. I mean, it's time. Get him while he's still here. I know he can't do all the physical stuff, but he can still do the up-close shots, maybe, the voice. But, yeah, it's unfortunately, he even said he's getting up, or he's already up there to the point where he can't do a full physical, BM says, what are you playing next? I'm going to kind of keep it a surprise, but I have one thing I'm playing next that you guys don't know about. And then the second thing is going to be voted on by the members and Patreon supporters. So you guys will be voting on another next. There's going to be a couple things that are next coming up on the channel. And one of them is voted on by the supporters. And the other one is going to be chosen by me just as a kind of whatever decision in terms of like, something I think I should check out or stream. And both will probably be something new that have never been on the channel. So I think it's time to, obviously play some other stuff that I haven't played. And I know I mentioned this before because a lot of people were asking me about Silent Hill. And Silent Hill 3 will just be played on the channel, by default. Up until this point, I've been putting Silent Hill on the polls, and it's been winning every time. So I figured, okay, let me not put Silent Hill on the polls anymore for the supporters to vote, because Silent Hill is an overwhelming, yes, and it beats out all the other ones. So I'm going to take that off and just do it anyway. and then I'm going to put the other games in there. Now, I played Eternal Darkness on this channel before. Shout out to Perry, because he was the one that was really pushing me to play that back in the day, and I've done it. But I haven't like live streamed it in like a handful of years, probably even more than that. So I would like to go and revisit that for you guys, because it was a game I only beat once. And that'd be really cool. And I do own it as well now, but I can also play it on some of the hack stuff that I have. But yeah, so Eternal Darkness may be on there soon. I might try to do something else that I've never played, but a replay could happen because, the channel's grown significantly since I last did that playthrough. So I think maybe, when I put it out on the channel back then, even when I was trying to grow the channel, not a lot of people checked out that stream, and that's fine. That's just the way it is sometimes when you do different games. That's not really on your namesake of your channel, or what people are normally checking out. I felt the same way about Tormented Souls, where I did that playthrough and it was a lot of fun and people checked it out. But when I live streamed it, it was like the viewership wasn't as high. You know what I mean? And that's fine, because it still goes up on the channel. It's in a playlist, it's in the archive, like it's there so people can check it out. But, I think if I do it this time, Eternal Darkness might have a little bit more of a following even more now, and people might actually be more interested to check it out. But yeah, never say never with that. That might just end up on a poll eventually. And Perry says, Warner Brothers secured the rights for Nightmare. They did. Yeah, it's coming back soon, man. Hopefully they figure something out, because it's been so long, and I'm tired of shit just not coming out. Alone in the Dark, a new Nightmare is next. That'd be awesome. I think it will. I think the new Alone in the Dark will keep it, hopefully keep it revived, and they can keep it going. Silent Hill 4, it could happen, Sista. I mean, I've heard mixed things about Silent Hill 4. Some people like it, some people don't. But if I'm doing 3, I might as well do 4. I've never played it. I've never beaten 3. I played 3, never finished it. Don't remember much about it. And 4, I've never played. Hope next year we finally get a Max Payne remake or a trailer. I hope so, man. I know Remedy literally takes forever, but hopefully we do. Nick Noguera gifted another membership. Dragon Ball Radiance, now a member. One more. Always giving back to the community. Perry says 4 is great. Yeah, I'm going to have to just play it. And like Perry said, PC build, exactly. We're trying to do this, still trying to do this PC build. So any donations or anything that, extra goes towards this channel is obviously trying to get this PC built. And Perry's going to be helping, and it's going to help out tremendously on all fronts as far as gaming, content, efficiency, how quick I can do things. But yes, that's what I've heard. Silent Hill 4 is very frustrating, but still very fun and scary. And me not knowing much about it kind of enhances my first playthrough. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I can go and you guys can get my genuine reactions. And I think for 3, from what I played from 3, it seemed to be very, very good. So I'm looking forward to jumping back on 3, starting it from scratch, playing it for you guys, and I will be doing that without putting it on the poll, because I know it's just going to win. So I'm going to put, what's going to be on the poll, what are going to be the selections. We'll just wait and see. Like I said, I'm going to be putting it out this weekend. So if you're a member, if you just got gifted a member by Nick or anybody that's gifted members or signed up, you will see that, vote on it, and your voice will be heard, and that will be the next game of the live streaming. There's going to be another game that I'm popping up with next week that's going to be a surprise, but that will also kind of join the shuffle of games that I'm streaming. Todd Howard sucks Starfield cock. That's what Perry says. If Remedy's taking this long to show a trailer, they must be going to town on those remakes, since AW2 is coming soon. That's true, and hopefully they just take all the time they need. And Max Payne, the universe is pretty amazing, and I love Max Payne, so I'm happy they're taking their time. It's one thing to play it by yourself, but it's even funnier watching or playing it with others. Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people like the reaction stuff or first time playing through something, and that's why I kind of like, the whole, if I ask for help, it's one thing, but most people in the chat know not to really backseat game, to make me kind of try to figure it out myself, fail on a puzzle a bunch of times. That's kind of the part of it. So, when's the new Silent Hill? Hopefully stuff starts dropping next year, RWK. I don't think 2 has a date yet, but we'll see. Phil Spencer slept with all his Xbox podcaster guys. Oh, man. Wouldn't surprise me. Just for that free promotion that they're doing, right? But no. Yeah, I'm really excited to play those games, guys, just to experience them. And, of course, when Silent Hill 2, the remake, comes out and the new game comes out, I like to stream it. I like to play it. And because, man, 1 and 2 is just so damn good. And those being the only 2 I finished from Silent Hill, I can say, yeah, it's pretty fucking killer. So, 1 second. Cool deal. All right. Slept with Colt Ethernet Mag and took pictures taking the dinner. Jesus. What the hell? Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. What's wrong with these people? Too much powder, I suppose. Powder in the nose. Oh, man. Jesus. Well, you know what they say. Sometimes it's not worth it. Wow. David R. with the $4.99. Eddie Kunitz, what's up, brother? In the house. I'll see you tomorrow, man. You guys are crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. This is some crazy shit right now. This is what people do though in the gaming space. They get crazy. Next thing you know, they're buying people dinners and then they have a finger in their ass. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now in the chat, but you know, people do it to themselves. You know, sometimes they put the finger there. I don't know. Anyway, Vampire Survivors naked. Oh Jesus. I don't know. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Jeez. 30 FPS in 2023. Oh, man. K knows these guys. Yeah. The swimming section during RE Rev 1 was absolutely terrifying. Revelations 1 is a hard game to even get trophies for. The achievements. Like, raid mode's pretty easy, but that's another game I'd like to go back and stream a little bit more on this channel that I've never played. Revelations, you know. Rev 1 and 2. You know, I played a couple times on the channel. But that's another one. You know, I've been trying to obviously go back and like bring stuff around that hasn't been on the channel. Same thing with Code Veronica. Dressed as Kratos. Oh man. You guys are off the chain. It's 11:06 and you guys are still off the chain. That's I love it. I love it. Oh, jeez. Well, smash the like button if you haven't, and if you have any more questions about Jim Ryan or Phil Spencer or Resident Evil, then, you know, I'll still be chilling here for another like half hour, 45 minutes. So we'll keep it going if you guys got stuff to chat about. Thank you, David R, for the last donation, and also you're a member, David R, so thank you. Like I said, members and Patreon supporters can vote on that next video game that I play, and cosplays that shit. Like you said, Shincock. MK69. We'll get there one day. Don't worry. That's where they should stop, actually. They should just stop at MK69, call it, and just, Ed Boon can just call it a day at that point, or his son, or whoever the fuck's taking over at that point. But yeah. Yeah, next thing you know, we'll have an RE-style Mortal Kombat game. That'll be the next thing you see. Oh, my God. Horrible. But yeah, I am so stoked on that. What do you think of the RE9 rumors? Well, I think a lot of them are more bullshit than anything. I mean, I think not that it's bullshit that it's happening, but like we don't really have anything concrete yet. We just know that it's happening, so I think a lot of it's just kind of like running in circles, Thank you for showing those member emojis, Dragon Ball. That's right. You got access to emojis if you're a member, or if you're gifted a member by Nick Noguera, who gifts members left and right. My favorite RE character is Jill Valentine. Absolutely. Yeah, PS Plus price did increase, George. That's pretty upsetting considering the service itself is very lackluster. Raiden and Liu Kang turn heel for the 500th time. Exactly. It just repeats. It never ends. Condoms coming soon for an extra $60 a month, says Perry to George. Yeah, exactly, right? What else is going to be? What else? Who else? What else will rise in the subscription service bullshit that we're dealing with nowadays? I like how, we cut the cord, so to speak, for cable to avoid paying. And now with all these services, you're just paying the same as you were with cable, along with internet. And it kind of evens out, unfortunately. But Eric says, geez, Perry, keep this up and I'll choke on laughing. That's what Perry does. Yeah, it's man, what the hell was I just talking about? Oh yeah, the streaming services, yeah. I think they will have some kind of, that's why you have to kind of fight back, and you have to kind of just like, you have to just say, I'm just going to download the shit. I'm just not going to stream, that's the thing too. I don't really like the fact that, we're kind of stuck in this thing where like everything can, disappear on the service or not disappear on the service, or like it's there, it's not there, it's edited, it's not edited. So, and then if you add up all your services, it's a lot of money. So we had to cut a lot of stuff down in terms of like just getting to the point where my internet was, the only thing that we had in the household. And then we had to get, YouTube TV and stuff for my parents and all that stuff. So like this was stuff that we all did a few years ago when we kind of saw the writing on the wall. But then obviously now the bubble's kind of bursting with, the bullshit streaming prices. So it's like when you see stuff like Sony raising the prices, it just makes it more of a bummer, because it's like I would just rather save money and just completely download and torrent stuff, because I'm a pirate at heart, but RWK didn't like Death Island because the voice just didn't match up. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think the voice the acting was bad, it's just different when you have so many different actors in Resident Evil kind of coming in and out of, the fucking, it's like you have Kevin Dorman, you have, then you go back to Jeff Shine, then you go back. It's like there's just so much back and forth, and I think a lot of people kind of get confused or just like, that's it, man. The PC build, and that's going to be the next thing. You're right, Perry. That's it. PC build is next. That's like priority number one. Would you like to see Anthony's PC build on his channel? That's what Perry's asking. Will we get a PC build on this channel? Let the viewers decide. Well, we normally stream a lot of the stuff on Perry's channel, but like Perry said, we could stream it on this channel if people would like to see that, because that would be a really good snapshot in time, and obviously you guys donated for it, so to show it off on the channel would be awesome. Best Resident Evil villains: Albert, Lansdale, Lady D, Miranda, Marcus. That's my top 5. There you go. I would definitely say, Wesker, and I would probably say Wesker, and I'm trying to think. Like top villains. I mean, Spencer's a villain, but even though like he's not really like, he's not around as much, but I would probably put he's still part of Umbrella, right? So I think he would be considered a villain. But I still like Birkin too. Like Wesker and Birkin are probably some of my favorites. Obviously Nemesis is my favorite BOW, but depends on how you want to categorize it. Perry says we could do this. RWK just didn't think the voices matched up. I mean, I don't know. I thought the quality of the voices sounded fine. It didn't sound or look cheap, I don't think. I mean, but, I understand if some people just don't really, care for the CGI stuff or what they've done. Mr. X says, the Prince. Yeah, Mr. X is another good one. I'm trying to think. Like, there's so many. Jeff M, I vote PC build on the channel. Come on, do it, says Jeff M. Well, thank you guys. Anything you guys donate, obviously, will be going towards the PC until we, get everything situated. And it's going to be, it's going to be the next step, guys. It's going to be a big. Phil Spencer was the villain in RE9. Well, at this point, he will be. Holy shit, after the shit he's been saying. But yeah, I don't know. I just think, like, there's going to be a big shift once we get a lot of this stuff going with this next PC, and I can do a lot more. Chew it to do it, comrade. That's my only complaint about, though, like, seeing Ari stuff keep coming. Sister A, good night. Have a good one. Thanks for being a member. It's got to be Wesker, the top dog when it comes to evil. The global saturation. Thank you, sister. You take care. Have a good one. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome, guys, if we could do this and make it happen. Like I said, it's going to make a lot of room for more stuff here, and Jesus, I don't even know who the oh man, that sounds like a podcast porn parody. And you should do behind the scenes filming during Keeper's Diary production. Would be awesome to see the process if there already isn't a plan for one. There is a plan for some stuff. I know there was a couple of stuff that people were thinking about with, like, filming the process or kind of doing some kind of documentary on it. And, that would be cool if someone wants to film it. The thing is like, I will definitely be filming. They are real people. They sound like fucking porn star names. If that's real people, Perry, holy shit, that's horrible. But Jeff M, that brings up a good question. Yeah, so, like, it's, I'm going to be filming long days, and I'm going to be filming most of the time, obviously, just focusing on what I'm working on for shooting. And so I won't really have a chance to be filming on set. If I was just, like, if I had an invitation to go out there to not really work on the movie, but to kind of come in and, like, see what's going on, that would be a different scenario. But since I'm actually shooting the thing, it's going to be a lot more hands-on, and I'm not going to have time to shoot what's going on behind the scenes while I'm setting up shots. However, I will like to shoot stuff like I like shooting stuff, after the fact or after the day wrapped, like maybe talk to a couple people, like, see, like I like to film and talk to people like with the cast, and like, see if we, if I set, like, if we stay together at a hotel or Airbnb or something, and we have a room, and I'm like, all right, guys, like maybe like after each day, can you say your name, say what you've done, what you've worked on, and let's discuss, I'll have like key questions I can ask them, and like, little thing, like I have some ideas that I'm probably going to try to work out. And like, if you are a member and a Patreon supporter, you will be getting like audio diaries of my, what I'm doing and what I'm like putting together, what we worked on that day, little things like that. I mean, I know I can't give away everything while it's happening. I can't show everything while it's happening on set, but I could definitely do a lot more of, after the fact, like, and like let you guys know how I'm feeling, and like just shooting that stuff. It'll be a really great opportunity for content. So yeah, I'm probably going to do some kind of vlog or video diary type video when I go and shoot Keeper's Diary, because it will be history in the making. And for me not to capture it, I would just be an idiot to not kind of capture the energy, capture the vibe. And even though I can't do a complete behind the scenes on the set, because I will be on the set moving stuff and getting the camera shots ready, I'm going to make it really cool. And the short film, when it's completed, it will be dropping on the Residents of Evil channel. And we are going to be, dropping it probably early next year. That's the plan anyway. So that's their plan, to drop it on their channel. And obviously we're going to get busy and be filming it in about a month and a half at this point, end of October. So I am really, really fucking stoked and over the moon for this. I'm really grateful to be working on this. It's an ultimate RE collaboration. It's happening because of you guys, the community, and we got, over our goal, which is amazing. And it's going to go towards some extra production costs. The set building is going to, be a lot more easier, and, we can get things a lot more, kind of polished on top of that. So it's going to be a really productive fall time, and busy, like I said. But hopefully I can keep you guys kind of updated. And if you're a member and a Patreon supporter, I can also kind of give you guys a little bit more behind the scenes stuff, maybe some photos, of us on set hanging out. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's being filmed in October, right? It's even better just to get that vibe and to really get, excited for that time of year. And at that point, it's at the end of October. But to be out there with everyone, and I will be able to meet a lot of people for the first time. I'll be able to meet a lot of the other, the Row crew, and obviously Andy and Nuji I've already met. But I'll be able to meet everybody else, and it'll be cool. Jill's your favorite RR character. Who's her least favorite? Oh, man. Probably Simmons. It's probably one of my least favorites. Ryuho, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I would say Simmons. Who else? Simmons is a good one. I feel like Simmons is a really good one, because fuck that guy. And fuck the C virus, and fuck all that whole thing. Paris says, I only have the normal edition I use the test systems with. You want the complete edition, RWK? It has all the DLC on the disc. There you go, RWK. That's what he's got for you for MK. The King's favorite month is October because of my birthday. Well, exactly, man. It's always a good time in October. Yeah, it's always fun, It's going to be a busy month because the first weekend of October is like the only time I have to like do some kind of like festive stuff over here in Jersey. Then I got Monster Mania the weekend after. Then I got to film the weekend after that. So October is going to be really, really busy. So I'm going to try my best to live stream as much, but maybe also October might be more of a VOD-based content in that month if I can't live stream as much. But you know, I do also have to keep live streaming too because I gotta stay consistent, you know. So I forgot about Simmons. Dude simped harder for Ada than a pimp at a fashion show. Yeah, that whole thing was so stupid with Carla. Like that whole, they just gotta axe that thing. If they ever come up to 6 again and they're like, it's time to remake you, yeah, you gotta cut that shit out. There's a lot of shit you gotta cut out of that fucking game. So just dumb. I can't stress that enough. But you know, that's the good thing about remakes is that they could, you know, completely change shit like that, especially something that just like silly. And Simmons was very, very silly. It's got the Conan Exiles collection. Oh, nice, man. Cut out the wrestling moves. Yeah, exactly. The fucking the what was the other thing in 6 that was annoying? The Jawavo, you know, and all that shit. Yeah, that stuff just is so annoying in 6. My son is October boy. He was just playing with his RE toys before yesterday. That's awesome. He was born in October. Rocktober. Yeah, yeah, no problem, King. Perry says yes, it has all the characters on the disc. It's on. Oh, I also have a long, well, I mean, it's kind of long overdue, but I have a collection RE collection update video that I have to film, and I'm going to be doing that next week. So stay tuned for that. Really awesome stuff. Shout out to a couple people, Nuji, shout out to Perry, and Joe, my friend Joe, because a lot of the stuff that they gave me will be featured in that next video. So thank you guys for that, and I will be showing that off really soon. And someone get the king of beer, yeah, especially for his birthday. Someone buy the king of beer. Come on. Man, I was gonna say something else too. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm really stoked for Keeper's Diary, and I think this is gonna be a really good time. And I'm really doing my homework on this one. I'm really trying, you know, like we're gonna be operating on, you know, a really high end camera, and so it's, you know, it's time. Like it's time for me to step it the fuck up and learn a lot of this shit, and even further than what my other film knowledge has kind of guided me up into this point. So it's a really important project. So, oh yeah, and the Siva, yeah, exactly. The the dinosaur, yeah, never forgets the Simmons dinosaur. That was horrible. My birthday is on RE6's release date. Oh yeah, I remember when they moved that game up because Call of Duty and Halo was coming out, and instead of it coming out in November, it was pushed to October. Not a lot of people remember that, but that did happen. Jesse Ventura to finish off Simmons. Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck was that? The translation was so bad it was hilarious. Yeah, sometimes those translations get so silly, you know. Go. Bam, ba-dam, bam, bam, ba-dam. Yeah, the God, I just remember that dinosaur boss fight just going on forever. It's going on for so long. Um, that's yeah, that was one of the probably the worst final battles in RE history, I would say. Just so forgettable and just goes on forever. My birthday is WCW man's birthday. Hell yeah. Good old March. Harry Resident Evil Crumpets. What's up, Stevie Mac? Good to see you guys here. Smash that like button if you haven't yet. I'll probably be on for another 15 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. So any other stuff you want to throw in the chat, if you're just coming in here or hanging out, feel free, or speak your RE stuff. Thank you guys for coming in late. I know it's a late night stream, and I know a lot of people are still stream late. So my B-Day is today, actually, and I just picked up the last of the OG RE1 action figures for my collection. Well, happy birthday, Jeff M. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you had a good one. Share a B-Day with Ice Cube, June 15th. Hell yeah. Simmons fight lasts for 2 whole fucking chapters. Yeah, exactly. It's just so long. Jim Ryan gets fucked. Oh, Jesus Christ. Herman Holtz. Not dressed as Kratos. With cheesy mac. Oh, no. Oh, what is happening? Oh yeah, happy birthday, man. Yeah, I hope you had a good one. That's cool, man. Those old school figures are so dope, and they've gotten so expensive. You know, they've gotten really expensive. That's what I'm saying, Stevie Mac. That's fancy lube right there. Damn. You find that in the Kraft mac and cheese section. It's easy. What are your thoughts again about RE Survivor? Great soundtrack. It does have a good soundtrack. RE Survivor has a very cool vibe to it. It's not the worst Resident Evil game ever, but it definitely has problems. It does reuse a lot from RE2, obviously, and the sound effects and everything like that. Some of the buttons are weird, but it's not the worst Resident Evil game. It's just kind of a very forgettable one, but it's more so of like the actual lore behind Sheena Island and things like that on the files and stuff with like, you know, Vincent and stuff and that whole like story, the guinea pigs and stuff. It's a very dark game. It's a very dark game. So it does have a very unique vibe, but it's just the best way it's told is through the files. And I wish that like the cutscenes, the characters lot and all the, you know, the kid characters, I wish they were a little more memorable, and they just didn't really feel that way, you know? Same thing with Ark, like, oh, my friend Leon S. Kennedy. Like, a lot of that just seems shoehorned in. I feel like if they tried a little bit more, it could have been a little bit more impactful and more memorable. And I know some people still really like it now, and they're coming around to it, but it's not the worst Resident Evil game. The voice acting's really bad, and there is some horrible moments in the game where you're just like, what the hell? Same thing with, like, you know, the cleaners shooting you, and you can't, like, they can just drain your health over and over again. The hunters constantly jumping in your way, and you can't move around them. Yeah, very, very, very bad. Nemesis and Operation Raccoon City. Yeah, that was a very long fight too, especially on the harder modes if you didn't have a co-op partner. Herman thought Joel was too sexy that he'd be killed off in The Last of Us. Yeah, well, you know, can't have nice things, I guess, right? What's the difference between all the original versions of RE1? Like, for example, long box, black label version. Well, Isaiah, yeah, they kind of just wanted to save money on shipping. That was the big thing, what Perry said. But the real question is, what are the differences between the normal edition and the director's cut, right? And there's 2 director's cut versions that are legitimately released. There's mods that fixed it after the fact, but that's like later. So like Perry said, they started to save money off of the long boxes, so everything got a slim case release. There was the DualShock. I'll just grab them. Fuck it. Fuck it. So you have this edition right here, long box, right? Then when they wanted to save money on the shipping and they did the slim case edition, Perry got me this version back in 2010. Nick Noguera gifting Stevie Mac a membership. Holy shit. Thank you so much, man. So, but then you got the slim case one right here. Appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much. You guys are popping off tonight. Now, you got Resident Evil Director's Cut. And this one came with the Resident Evil 2 demo. Not the DualShock edition, but this has the original music as the first game. And same thing with the long box. Same soundtrack, but not really uncut because there was stuff that they didn't put in this that was uncut, right? So that comes out. Most people buy it for the RE2 demo. It comes with a range mode. That's the difference, right? Then you have the slim case Director's Cut, which doesn't come with the RE2 demo, but it's DualShock. You can use the analog sticks for this. The DualShock Director's Butt, as Perry said. Yes. Now, this version is known for its wacky, changed soundtrack. It doesn't have the same soundtrack as this guy or the original game, and some would argue that it's worse than the original soundtrack. There isn't a lot of good tracks on this. I will be honest. There's some good ones, but it's not as good as the original. Now, there's a mod nowadays that takes the best features of this version and keeps the old music and keeps the DualShock from this that's not on this version. If you can follow what I'm saying, I know it's a lot. It's a localization error in the OG Director's Cut, which is why the uncut scenes weren't on the disc. That's exactly right, Perry. Capcom, and Perry was able to complain back in the day and get free shit sent from Capcom because they put up the stuff online, right? They put up the uncensored cutscenes online because they didn't do what they promised to do, And yeah, the basement track is the legendary track from this edition. Now, this edition, unfortunately, was the one that was on the PS3 for all those years. So if you played the PS3 digital version of Director's Cut, you were playing this version. Now, the one that's on PlayStation 5 is not this version. It's like a hybrid. It's this edition with the original music, but you can use the analog sticks. So they made their own version, which is why they want you to sign up for the service just to play it, which is bullshit. There's also this version. And you're like, what the hell is this? Well, I don't have a manual for this version. I forget how I came across this one. But this is a single edition of Resident Evil Director's Cut. The back is a little bit different. The back is similar to... it's similar to this one right here. So if you look at the back, this is a single disc variant of this, which is pretty rare, but I don't have the manual for this because it's hard to find. It's hard to find this version, but this is a single. This is the no demo disc one. Now, I'm still kind of looking for one like this. I was able to see it at a game store one time, but it was a little too high in price. I was like, I could probably get that a little bit cheaper. But I know, this version I think I got because it was like a damaged case, which I replaced a little bit, and, some of it, because this door is still fucked up. But someone was selling it as this, as at listings. They didn't know what they had. So I scooped this without the manual, but I know deep down that I won't ever find the Director's Cut single edition manual unless I get really lucky. I would save like half the fucking cost on what I would take to, have me rebuy this shit again. So I have a million discs of Director's Cut. But anyway, Isaiah, there you go. I know I kind of went off on a tangent here, but I like talking about physical media for RE and the history of it, because this is back when there was a lot of releases, and it's a little confusing. But I don't know why they redid the soundtrack, Rio. I don't know. And the composer said he lied and said that he was deaf, and he wasn't deaf. There was a lot of weird shit going on with that stuff. And pu.avi, that's what they called the files they put online, like pu, get it? And that's what they did back then. From Perry experienced all the back in the late 90s. Resident Evil on the DS mixed the tracks from both Director's Cut games, and it actually was done. Yeah, that was a pretty cool soundtrack. They did a good job with that, and that edition is really cool because you get the quick turn, you get the knife, and now the seamless version has the seamless version of RE1 has pretty much all those features. besides the Quick Knife, which was in the DS version, and it has the original soundtrack. So they got it down with that. And the Greatest Hits was the first copy I owned as a kid, and I always go back to the Black Label jewel case version. Yeah, honestly, to be honest, this was the only director's cut version my dad bought for a long time until I got into Resident Evil, collecting my own stuff, and then I went back and got the other editions. But yeah, this was the one that I knew director's cut of, the different music. And when I was a kid, when I was younger, I didn't even know. I just knew for some reason when I put this disc in, it was the same as this one. At least I thought it was. I mean, I noticed the different costumes, but I never really knew like what those differences, were on that whole thing until you get older and you start looking things up. And I had this the strategy guide for director's cut as well. The longest running member of S.T.A.R.S. It was the first death of the entire series. Poor Kenneth. I know, poor Kenneth. Do you have the Japanese director's cut that has the 1.5 screenshot on the back? I have. What do I have? It doesn't have 1.5 on the back. I have this one, but it doesn't have 1.5 on the back. I think that might be the other one, because this version isn't the DualShock director's cut. I think it's this version, but in Japan. So maybe this on this version has that on the back, because this has there you go. That's what that has. And educating chat on RE1. Yeah, it's just a fun it's a fun little trip down memory lane. I like pulling these out and talking about them. How do you tell the difference on that last director's cut? You don't have the manual to compare to the others. Well, I think this, I'm pretty sure the manual, well, because this, I'll tell you right now. So how would I know which manual would go with that one? Well, it's easy, because the manual will have that red bubble. That wouldn't be on it. So this the variant that I have with no manual, this one, it would be this, but with no red bubble. It would just be, it just has that. It does exist. It is a rare variant, but it's out there. And some people might even have it and not even know what they have. But it's a pretty rare one to come by, because most times, these are the most common, the greatest hits guys. These are probably the most common. These have gone up in price in recent years, the RE2 demo disc edition. So that has gone up in price. All of it has, really. Kenneth was killed too, maybe by those. I love when she says maybe by those creatures. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, of course he was killed by it. You just fucking saw it. Isaiah tried to play the original, but I couldn't stick with it. I guess it's because I beat the remake and it's hard to go back. Yeah, I know it's hard to go back. I think a lot of people try to. I mean, I think it's easy for myself to go back, but I know it's hard to go back for some others, and you like what you like, Some of it will stick. Did you really freak out of one zombie? I know, right? Like, how trained were you just to get knocked down by one zombie, Seems like there's something else going on there. Yeah, I hope they do that, Nicole. Hopefully they do. Eventually they might do a collection. I would like to do that. You have freeze rounds, courtesy of Nick. Yeah, right here. Got the freeze rounds because of Nick. He sent these. Look at that. Nick sent these, which was an awesome, awesome gift. And they're always, anything you guys ever send is always going to be displayed or shown in a video. And I'm really grateful. So thank you for that, Nick. I've got that in DualShock 1.5, and they both come with cool stickers and shit. Yeah, that's what I love about the Japanese. Like, I got RE2, the Japanese memory card stuff. The Japanese, like, editions back then were awesome because they had so much, like a little extra shit in there, which is so cool. And some of the artwork is so cool. Some of it's better than the American one. So the Japanese editions, that's what I love about those editions, just so unique. But nowadays, it's like you don't really get that because everything has the same cover, or if it does, it's very, like, it's a different cover, but it's like, it's something else. Why do they come into the mansion and separate? Well, that's just the common thing is always, oh yeah, let's separate. That's a good idea. And then also Wesker just luring them into the mansion, which kind of became after the fact because you didn't really know that when you played it. But it's like Wesker wanted to separate because then he could kidnap Jill, and then with the other, it kind of works in similar ways. It's like you're kind of alone. Wesker got everyone alone, so he succeeded in that. But yeah, I never played the PlayStation 5 edition, the RADCDSGH. Yeah. I never played the PS5 RE Director's Cut either because I refused to sign up for the service just to play it. In my opinion, if you're going to have that game on there, you should be able to just buy it separately like other PS1 games. Jeff M., you take care, buddy. I love how the tiny GameCube Japanese copies they still pack posters in them. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really cool. I miss posters in magazines. I miss posters in the games. The RE Director's Cut, DualShock, Greatest Hits. Yeah, it's like how many editions of Director's Cut. That's why now it's like I'm just happy we have mods that just do it. It's just Director's Cut. Exactly. It's just fucking Director's Cut. Now you got the real Director's Cut. You got everything on the. I know it's called the True Director's Cut, but now we got something better than the True Director's Cut. Now we got the Seamless by Team X, and they do awesome stuff. And I stream that. I'll probably stream that sooner than later as well. Just maybe do like a Seamless marathon. RE1's a program. It was all set up from the start. Yeah, they never really explained the shots. A lot of people think it was whoever was missing in the beginning, depending on the scenario. Because we know RE0 was not in their mind at all when they made RE1. So the fact that Rebecca went through, because she meets up with Chris and then says nothing about what she just went through. But then in 0 and then, 1 remake, they try to connect it. But it was just very, very weird. A rumor, Capcom announced a new title. I did hear about that too, like a new thing that they might announce. I would love it to be Dino Crisis, Mango. I mean, they have all the assets from Exoprimal. They have all those dinosaurs there. Why not? Why not make it a good one? RE1 on PS5. I would like it, but I don't need it. I like playing on the original console. Well, that's the thing, man. I think, people can play it now, especially in better shape on the PC or on emulators or on consoles. But, it's just, I hate, just the fact that, that's the one thing. And I think Tekken 2 is the other one that is only on, the service. And it's just like, man, just fucking put it on there. You know what I mean? But I still enjoy hooking up the old consoles, playing it, or playing it on, emulators or on the PC where it's high res, playing the mods. Outbreak coming back. Hell yeah, Michael. That'd be awesome. Eventually, they might do something like that. I think Capcom, like I mentioned earlier, we were talking on Game Complainers, like Capcom should really just focus on that being more of what they should worry about, co-op multiplayer instead of versus multiplayer. So we'll see what the hell's going on, But, yeah, guys, that's about it for this stream. I've been on here for a couple hours, so it was awesome to shoot the shit with you guys. And I want to shout out Nick, who is the big donator and gift giver. I want to shout out David R. and Jeff M. Because, yeah, I mean, $10 super chat from Nick, 4 gifted memberships from him as well. David R. and Jeff M., thank you for the donations. Again, thank you guys so much for keeping this thing going, keeping this channel going. And, yeah, if I start streaming some Texas Chainsaw on another third anonymous channel or whatever the hell it's called, it might just be my name for now. But I will let you guys know. It's probably sooner than later, like I said, because I just gotta do it, get up off my ass and do it. So, but yes, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back Monday, and Tokyo Game Show is approaching fast. You're right, Stevie Mac. So I will be live on the 21st when that happens, on whatever time that is. That's about 2 weeks from now. It's on a Thursday, so I'll be around. And Texas, says Perry. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Check out LTRE on all the socials. X, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, the Spring Store down below. And that's about it, guys. So thank you so much for everything. Also, stay tuned for the poll for Patreon and members to vote for the next live stream. And I have something, surprise live stream next week that will be going on for pretty much the most of next week. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. And hit the like.